The fear that artificial intelligence could spell the end for humanity feels, well, it feels incredibly current, doesn't it? But what if I told you this whole story didn't start with ChatGPT? What if it started with one man who saw it all coming decades and decades ago?
You hear warnings exactly like this all the time now, right? They're coming from the godfathers of modern AI, from tech executives, from philosophers. It's become this chillingly familiar message about the potential dangers of the very things we're building.
And the whole conversation, it feels so urgent, so uniquely a product of our technological moment. Like it's a direct response to the large language models and the generative AI that have just exploded into our lives.
But here's the thing, this idea isn't new, not even close. In fact, the entire debate we're having today, the fears, the arguments, the dire warnings, it all has this deep, almost forgotten history, framed by one man more than 3/4 of a century ago.
So, to really understand what's happening now, we have to rewind the clock. We need to meet the brilliant, maybe a little eccentric, and totally prophetic mathematician who started it all, Norbert Wiener. I mean, Wiener was a child prodigy in the truest sense of the word. A bachelor's degree at 14, a PhD from Harvard at 18. The guy was a giant in mathematics. But the work that would truly change the world, well, that didn't start in a quiet library. It started right in the middle of the chaos of World War II. It was his wartime project, trying to figure out how to shoot down these incredibly fast-moving enemy planes, that led him to a groundbreaking idea, one that actually defines our relationship with machines to this very day. So Wiener had this major realization. He figured that intelligent behavior, whether it's in a person or in a machine, it isn't some kind of mysterious, magical force. It's the result of feedback. A system takes in information, it acts, it sees the result of that action, and then it adjusts. He called this whole new science cybernetics.
This feedback loop was the absolute crucial insight. The anti-aircraft system senses the plane's position, it compares that to its goal, and then it acts to close the gap. And here's the brilliant part. It fires not where the plane is, but where it's going to be. It was a goal-seeking, self-correcting machine.
And this deep, hands-on experience with these goal-seeking machines, well, that's what led Wiener to a series of astonishing and, frankly, pretty terrifying predictions about the future.
As early as 1949, he was already laying out what we now call the AI alignment problem. He warned that machines are like genies in a bottle. They grant wishes literally, and a poorly worded command given to a powerful enough system could be absolutely catastrophic.
A decade later, he made the point even sharper. He said, look, you can't build something that is both truly intelligent and perfectly obedient. The two just don't go together. He even made an analogy to the philosopher slaves of ancient Greece, who, being way cleverer than their masters, could eventually outwit them.
And what's so striking is just how familiar his other concerns from that era feel to us today. He predicted mass unemployment from the factory without employees, and he warned about autonomous weapons that could win a battle but lose the war for humanity. The man really did see it all coming. And he left humanity with this incredibly stark choice. It was a moral challenge he laid at the feet of future generations, which is to say, at our feet. Would we approach this incredible new power with humility and caution, or with an arrogance that could lead to our own ruin? Now, Wiener wasn't just shouting into the void. His warnings generated huge headlines. They sparked a fierce public debate among the experts of his day, a debate that sounds like it could have been ripped from today's newsfeed. The roles in this drama are almost identical. It's amazing. Back then, you had Wiener as the alarmist. Today, you've got Geoffrey Hinton. On the other side was the optimist, Arthur Samuel from IBM. Today, it's Jan LeCun from Meta. The names change, but the fundamental argument, it stays the same. This was the counter-argument from Arthur Samuel. He said a machine is just a tool. It doesn't have a will. It's just a complex reflection of its programming. I mean, that is the exact same argument we hear from AI optimists today, almost word for word. Okay, but here is the most fascinating part of all. Wiener himself, facing the really basic clunky computers of his day, argued that this time it's different. He felt the pace of advancement was so fast that the old assumptions just didn't apply anymore. And that leaves us with a critical question. 75 years ago, the original AI alarmist felt the moment was uniquely dangerous. We feel the exact same way today. So, is it actually different this time?